Hi guys, welcome back. I am your host Invisigoth, and welcome to the exciting conclusion of Speedrun number 1, Baseline, Vanilla Hardcore Minecraft. I am currently frantically digging around, hoping to find the portal, kind of listening for lava. But I've already confirmed that some of the lava is not in the stronghold. It's just regular lava from a cave system that intersects the stronghold. I think I said fortress earlier, but it's technically called the stronghold. So basically just kind of trying to find the damn portal room. And I also heard some silverfish that I didn't see at some point along the way here, but looking around, and this, just as a point of reference, I would not normally explore a stronghold. Probably 9 times out of 10, when I use my Eyes of Ender, it will take me to literally exactly the point of the portal. I mean, the Eye of Ender is going to take you to the portal, not the stronghold. And if you dig down directly beneath where the Eye of Ender is pointing to, you will literally come out on top of the portal. Like, you'll have to go over to the side to actually get down, because you will come out straight above the portal, or the unactivated portal. So, did not happen this time, which, like I said, that substantially cut into my time here, probably by, and I mean, we can see it's probably a good 5 minutes already in the previous video, and maybe another 5 or 10 minutes here. And this is also for the people who think that you can just head on out to the stronghold and pick up a ton of ender pearls and not have to worry about it. Well, good luck. I've never been able to do that. I usually find, I don't know, 3 to 5 chests when I look, and I think I've found 1 or 2 ender pearls ever. I don't explore for strongholds is a general rule, so I may have a sample error there, but I personally, anecdotally, have not found a whole lot of ender pearls in the stronghold itself. I'd rather have them in my pocket when I get there, just so I don't have to fuck around. Where would I be if I was a portal to another dimension? Not here, that's for sure. Hey, lava. Here's a great trick when you have lava falling down on you. Do that. Lava, like water, goes in a hole. Lava loves a hole, so make a hole for it to go into, and it'll leave you alone. Same here. Make a hole, you're good. It's not going to flow. I mean, it'll flow straight down, but it won't flow down the stairs. So, that was clearly the wrong lava. I think that was actually just the underneath of this still pool that I had already found. So, at this point, I'm really scratching my head. I've got the Eyes of Ender, I just don't know where the portal itself is. And like I said, the best way probably to do that is to triangulate from above, but instead I did it here. So, okay, fine. It works. And even this, I don't feel that was particularly accurate either. I don't know what the information is on how accurate the Eyes of Ender are when you throw them up. And I had not ever thrown an Eye of Ender in a fortress before trying to find the portal. I guess it makes sense. But I don't know how accurate they are. They may be very accurate, but there's also at least one scenario where just even looking for the stronghold, the Eye of Ender can actually send you in a circular path. There are bugs where it won't take you straight to the stronghold. And again, talk about just completely destroying a speedrun. I think I've had that happen in single player survival, just when I'm just playing, but I've never had that happen in a speedrun attempt. So knock on wood. But it can happen. It's some sort of glitch in the calculations. I don't really know, but the wiki does say it's possible. And basically, the only solution is to go look for another stronghold. I mean, you have 3 that you can choose from, but I wouldn't want to have to do that, honestly. That would suck. And I forget where I found it. There it is, finally. And I mean, I think the Eye of Ender was off at a weird angle, but... And just to be safe, I'm going to shut down the lava, because I hate lava and I don't want to fall in it. And boom. Off we go. I'm trapped. Oh no. Alright, get rid of the damn silverfish spawner is priority 1 here. Block it off. Block off the lava so that just in case there is another silverfish hanging around, he can't knock you in. Now we got lucky this time. We got 3 ender pearls. That's probably as most as I've ever seen in a portal. And this gets back to a really sort of touchy judgment call of, could I have come here with 13 instead of 15? It turns out in this case I could have, but I could have just as easily been standing here with 1 empty socket and nothing to put in it, and that's just the worst. So, but if you're feeling particularly adventurous, I would encourage you to try it and see what happens. Eventually it's going to work out for someone. I got a free iron chest plate. I don't have enough really iron to even make that, but I had enough of an iron chest plate. Oh, there's the protection 2 and thorns. I'm sorry, I mentioned that earlier. I guess I just got it here at the end. All the crap I don't need. I don't need gold. I don't need flint. I have almost 3 stacks of arrows. That's pretty healthy. I want to take this stuff back with me. As it turns out, I forgot to take my enchanting table, so if I wanted to continue to play, that would be kind of a pain in the ass, but it's not a huge deal. I could either go get it or make a new one. I always like to play this as if I was going to continue, but then again, I don't spend time picking up all the experience when the dragon dies, so I guess I wouldn't necessarily be taking advantage of that. So I never enchanted my boots, so that's another protection 1. I'm actually pretty shocked that I got thorns there. Okay, finally. Here we go. Fighting the Ender Dragon. Where is he? So, I kind of keep a bead on where he's at, but I have to get to the floating island. And I've been knocked off before. The Ender Dragon coming in for a horrifying swoop down at me right off the bat. So I'm really trying to be careful here. And I don't know why, but I'm a little paranoid of spinning around 180 at the end there. So I just basically made that bridge just long enough so I could jump to the main island, and then now I'm on my own. But then again, now that I'm on solid ground, there's not really a whole lot to worry about. And I apologize. I know that my commentary is going to be a little bit off here. I think that was that 2 for 2 on the arrows? That's awesome. My commentary is going to be a little bit off here because I can't hear the audio as I record this voiceover. So there is an Enderman that gets pissed off at me here coming up, and I'm not going to know exactly where it is until I see myself freaking out. So it's not that I didn't notice it at the time, it's just that I have some limitations as far as my recording the voiceover. So apologies for that. So this isn't a surprise to anybody who's done this before. You knock out the crystals because they... Whoa! That was a hell of a swoop, too. You knock out the crystals because they regenerate the dragon's health. So there's really no point in attacking him until you've taken out at least most of the crystals. And I try to find a good... missed the second one. You can usually, if you're careful, you can usually get that second hit in. Oh! And watch for the old return. Why am I shooting at that one? That one is already cleared out. That was a waste of arrows. Careful. Nope, didn't get the second one either. If you wait till he's fairly close, and you can, if you play it a few times, you get a good feeling for how close is too close. But if you let him get close, but not so close that he's going to run into you and cause damage, you could almost always get that second shot. I don't know what that was. He didn't really divert his swoop when I hit him. He should be doing more like that. Basically, as soon as you hit him, he should sort of stall and then go in a different direction. And you can see I've touched him now twice, and I'm not taking that much damage, even with Protection 1 iron armor. I mean, that's more than sufficient for this fight. There you go. That's a nice second shot. Did I hit the third one too? That's awesome. So yeah, that's the dragon fight. Don't look at the Enderman. Hit this guy every once in a while. Let him piss off the Enderman. Another direct hit. He touched me 3 times now. I'm having a hell of a time because these pillars are so damn high getting these last couple. Yeah, and I would really dare anybody to try and finish this fight. I mean, look where I'm at. I haven't even taken the crystals out yet. I won't say I've had the best luck as far as the crystal placement, and I also wouldn't say I'm the best shot with the arrow, with the bow. But this is probably, about average. It's pretty reasonable. I've not been in any mortal danger the whole fight. He did touch me that time. So that's 4. I mean, all things considered, I'm wearing Protection 1 iron armor. I mean, 4 pieces of it, and that's more than sufficient to survive this battle. It's really not a big deal. It's not like you have to not ever get touched by the dragon. It's really doesn't matter if you do, a couple times anyway. And I got a really sharp angle on this, and it's really kind of sucking. So there's the classic 2 shots, and then I even got in the third one, possibly a fourth. I couldn't quite see it. But if you can get 2 hits in every swoop, that'll add up real quick. Of course, now that I think about it, that actually was a waste of arrows, and here's why. Because he was still getting healed. So I may as well have just hit him once, caused him to redirect in a different direction. That's what redirect means, I guess. Cause him to, get away from me with 1 arrow, and I kind of was wasting the second arrow there. I was trying to be a little bit of a hot shot, but since it doesn't actually reduce his health substantially until I get these crystals taken care of, it's probably a better tactic to... And there I was touched again. What is that, 5 or 6 times now? It's a better tactic to just use the 1 arrow, get him to go somewhere else, and then resume getting the crystals. And then, once he's out of crystals, then hit him twice every time he swoops. So, here's a little pro tip for you folks. A pro tip that clearly I was not aware of at the time of this fight. Another lesson learned, which is something that I find interesting about this, is I'm learning how to do all this stuff better as I go. And I learn stuff in Minecraft every day. I know a lot about Minecraft, but I also learn new things all the time. So that's one of the nice things about it. And I welcome that. And if you guys have anything that you've noticed that I clearly don't know or don't understand, by all means, let me know. I'd love to learn new things. And, only the other experienced people in the Minecraft community are going to be able to talk about some of these things. So that just makes me a better player, and it makes the videos better, and makes the speedruns better. So feel free to disabuse me of any things that I don't understand or I have an incorrect understanding of. I welcome that. I'd rather know how things actually work than to worry about, ego or whatever. I don't care. See, again, that second arrow really well, okay. That was a bunch of arrows, and I guess until I get the crystals gone, there's really no point in shooting the dragon in the ass. The only purpose of the arrows should be to make him not swoop down at me. And honestly, if I sidestep, I wouldn't even have to do that. So maybe that's an even better tactic. But at the very least, 2 arrows is kind of wasteful. Like right now, 1 in the face, and then he goes away. See, I just wasted 2 arrows. Oh, here's the Enderman. Found him. And yeah, I did piss him off. My fault. Having a decent sword is probably a good thing here. Now I've got both the dragon and the Enderman to worry about. But I do know one secret, which is if you just haul ass and run your ass off sprinting and make sure you don't get stuck on the edge of any blocks or anything like that, an Enderman can't quite catch up with you. Every once in a while he'll get close and do his 5 hearts of damage, which is reduced by the armor and the protection, but gives you time to get your hearts back, and as long as I know where the dragon is, I can sort of work around it. And I think that's the only guy I pissed off this time. The last time I fought the dragon, I didn't piss off any Endermen. I'm pretty good about not looking at them, but inevitably you're going to make a mistake. I mean, there are times where the dragon is literally flying through a group of Endermen. I mean, and I still, at this point, what am I, like 10 minutes in now? I still don't have all the damn crystals cleared, and that's really disappointing to me. Damn it. I'm hitting the dragon, but those are wasted. Oh, another thing I read in the wiki, for those of you who are real hotshots, if you can get a crystal to explode next to the dragon, or I should say while he's getting recharged, he will actually take damage from that explosion rather than getting healed. So that's another sort of advanced tactic. If you wanted to be tricky, wait till the dragon gets near a crystal and then shoot it, and you'll get some additional bonus damage. But really, unless that's the last couple of crystals, he's just going to get healed anyway, so it doesn't make a whole lot of difference. But that's just a little trivia for you. Now, at some point here, and he is getting worn down, but there are also at least a couple more crystals that I haven't gotten yet. Maybe it really is only the one. And then I think there's one like way far out that he just barely gets close enough to at some point here, but we may be down to like 2 crystals that are actually healing him. Pretty nice shot. I have to admit, I enjoyed the dragon fight. I have enjoyed it. It's not bad for a boss fight. I think he's a little bit underpowered. I honestly have fought the Wither skeleton, or the Wither boss, once. And I think he's a little overpowered, actually. I think he's ridiculous. But yeah, the dragon is a little bit too far on the easy side. And the Wither boss is kind of too far on the ridiculously hard side. And I say I've fought the Wither. I have not defeated the Wither in, legit vanilla Minecraft survival. I tried and failed. So I may try that as part of my Power Run series, my playthrough of Minecraft, but it would be long after the dragon. I would really have to have like a lot of potions, and I'd really basically have to have like some tricked out diamond armor and just basically have several high-level enchantments on each type of thing. All the armors and probably sword and bow. Yeah, definitely sword and bow. And have reviewed the wiki. And when I say several items, I mean I get several items and then I just choose the best one for the wither. So that's a lot of enchantments. That's a lot of level 30 enchantments there. Probably a dozen or more. So I'll do that at some point. I'll probably die a couple of times, but that's okay. I do not play normal Minecraft survival, single-player survival, or multiplayer survival on hardcore. I guess multiplayer doesn't. It's not relevant to hardcore. You can't delete the world, but I don't play single-player on hardcore just because so many random things can kill you. I mean, I've literally been glitched into lava. I've just had things that just, for whatever reason, should have never happened. And I mean, I die plenty because it's my fault, but I die occasionally when it's not my fault. And I'm not willing to spend a couple of weeks working on a world only to have that happen. Hardcore for a run like this, it makes perfect sense to me. I shouldn't be using beds for a speed run. That doesn't make any sense. So I think what I was trying to do here is get away from the last crystal that's healing him. It's not healing him a lot, but if I can make sure that it doesn't heal him at all, that would be better. Or am I running from an enemy? Nope. And you'll notice every once in a while he will injure the Enderman, and they will attack him. They are not friends. And that can actually work in your favor, especially if he's sweeping down on the ground, or if he's pissed off an Enderman that is on top of one of these pillars. He does take damage. It's not a lot, but I think it's like, 10 points of damage, 5 hearts. So let's see, what does the Ender Dragon have total? Ender Dragon has 200. So it's 100 hearts, 200 points of health. And, but keep in mind, an Enderman, unless there's any sort of like armor protection on the dragon, an Enderman does 10 points, 5 hearts of health each time they touch something. So even 2 or 3 touches from an angry Enderman, if that takes you down from 200 points to 170, that'll help you out substantially. That's like 3 Enderman hits on the dragon. Enderman don't mess around. When they get angry, they hurt. Alright, so now we're literally down to 11 arrows. And anybody who tells you to bring 2 stacks of arrows, they must be a hell of a lot better shot than I am. And again, I've learned some things, so I could probably conserve, I don't know, as many as 20, 25 arrows. So, yeah, two stacks if you're an expert and you do everything right. But for most cases, 3 is probably a good idea. And I had never tried that before, making a little pillar. Excuse me. I was actually just trying to get up high enough so that I could jump into the portal. I didn't realize I was inside the portal, but now that I've done that, I'll literally go under the dragon every time and start pillaring up before he even generates the portal. Now, I suppose if I fuck that up, I could actually end up with, like, stone. Matter of fact, the portal itself could theoretically spawn around me and suffocate me, but I don't know. It worked out this time. So, let's see. I'm going to let the end credits roll. Lessons learned. I got to do anything else I can to get ender pearls. I don't know what. I spent at least 95% of my nights. Well, let's say 90%, because I was a little fuzzy sometimes on the sunup part of it. But I spent probably 90% of every night out hunting for Endermen, and still, it took way too long. I do think that once I hit Ender Pearl number 15, I should stop everything and just head directly for the stronghold. I had plenty of arrows. That wasn't a problem. I could have theoretically not done the enchantments, but if you think about the end dragon fight, I did get touched like 6 or 7 times. I lost track, but it was quite a few times, and my protection helped me substantially there. So I guess if you never get touched by the dragon, which I don't know that you could guarantee that, even if you shoot him every single time, sometimes he just happens to sort of randomly, he chooses a new direction, and that new direction may be similar to the old direction. I don't think he like does a 180. He just stops what he's doing and kind of turns, but sometimes he's still kind of coming at you, or anyway. I doubt that you could get through the whole fight without being touched by the dragon. I would expect to be touched at least once or twice. You could probably do it. I'm sure if you were lucky you could, but I wouldn't bank on it. So the real question is, should I get a diamond pickaxe and an enchantment table at all? You can't get an enchantment table without the diamond pickaxe, but you can make the portal without the diamond pickaxe. So that certainly, that can be argued both ways. And I wouldn't say the people who want to avoid enchantment entirely are wrong, but I think the real kicker there is I want to have enchantment on my bow. Because getting back to the whole thing about the fight with the Ender Dragon, you could potentially not even have iron armor, but you absolutely would either have to have a shitload more arrows if you have a non-enchanted bow, or you would have to have an enchanted bow and roughly the number of arrows I had, just to be safe. I had a little bit of difficulty finding the stronghold. I need to triangulate better next time to find exactly where the portal is. I want to dig straight down like I did, that sort of stair-step kind of thing, but dig basically straight down to the portal room, at least the portal room itself, and not have to hunt around for the portal room. And that actually surprised me, because I think the last like 4 times I've done it, I just busted right into the roof of the portal room, right above the portal. I've not had a problem with that before, but apparently it's worthwhile to be a little more careful about that. What else? Talked about enchantments, talked about armor, talked about arrows. Yeah, I'm missing at least 1 or 2 major things. I guess, strictly speaking, the map wouldn't be necessary. You could probably get away without it. I figure by the time I've gotten down to the bottom and looked for iron, I'm going to... and again, you could get iron well above the bedrock, but I just go down to the bedrock because you're going to still find iron, you're going to still find coal, plus you find all the other cool stuff. And although I didn't mention it, I was digging on level 9, which, as it turned out, I think that ended up with 3 diamond deposits fairly close to the bottom of my stairs, which doesn't suck. There were small iron deposits. The first one was big enough. That was 5. And then somehow I scraped together another 6. Yeah, maybe the first one was 6, actually, and I scraped together another 5 for the helmet. But still, that's not bad for, I think it was maybe a grand total of 40 blocks long-wise and, 5 or 6? Well, if you count the holes, maybe 10 deep. As far as the area I was digging in was very small. So that's a lot of diamonds. I got lucky there. I think I got lucky on that enchantment. Now that I think about it, the thorns on my armor actually probably helped me for the last couple of runs that the dragon made at me. He probably took damage. As far as tactics go, one thing, and I might have mentioned this earlier, I forget, but other people have mentioned that you can destroy the crystals with something as simple as a snowball or an egg. If you're near a if you're near a taiga biome or in icy plains, you could get there's stacks of 16, but you could still get like 8 stacks of that, which is over 100, 128. Um, Snowballs, and you could probably take that. You probably have enough room in your inventory as you head out to the dragon to take all the snowballs. Now you'd be messing with your inventory a lot more than I would like. I hate snowballs for that reason. Um, and between the Enderman and the dragon, you really got to keep your head. You really got to keep your head and make sure you don't do anything stupid. So, opening up your inventory and juggling things around like that can be really kind of a bitch. But I'm sure there are people that could be very successful using that technique. I don't think I'd be one of those people, but I could see that. I mean, saving on a stack of arrows for taking out the crystals is actually a pretty big deal. Villager trading, I think still you could get 2 or 3, maybe 4 emeralds. Maybe if you really tried hard, you could get 10 or 15 emeralds. And I think I ended up actually getting 4 emeralds because I got them out of one of the temples. So there's that too if you're really lucky. But an Eye of Ender is going to cost you 7 to 10 emeralds. And even if that's 7 emeralds, like I said, that's like... So what is that? For 10 emeralds, it'd be 240. Yeah, my numbers were completely wrong earlier, by the way, when I was talking about selling paper. So for 10 emeralds, you may have to sell as many as 350 paper. That's a lot of reeds. For 10 emeralds, you would have to sell as many as 210 wool. Now, someone had mentioned on the forums that, well, what if you have an area that has, 10 herds of sheep for each? Well, yeah, that'll help you to get there, but that even then won't be enough. So I don't know that a village economy and trading with villagers to get the experience, bottles o enchanting, I should say, or the Eyes of Ender is really something that's going to come in much short of what I did here, and it has a likelihood, because of the randomness of it, of being a lot longer. Now, both the Bottles of Enchanting and the Eyes of Ender are very common trades for the priest, so I guess that's a factor. But honestly, when I've set up village economies, it's been harder than that. I mean, it takes time to get your sheep in place. It takes time for your reeds to grow. You can do okay with a herd of sheep. I'd say wool is probably the highest volume per. Well, I don't know. It's hard to compare one animal with one plant of reeds, but reeds take a while to grow. When I've been growing, I mostly focus on reeds and wool as far as village economy goes. And then I diversify a little bit. I sell some coal later in the game once I get a fortune pickaxe. And this is just in survival, single player. And then, gold perhaps, unless you want to use it for apples. And a handful of other things. I mean, you got to have some books. You got to have some... you could even sell some iron if you wanted to. A little bit of meat here and there just to unblock trades, but basically that's going to take you, God, I'd say even if you had a village right at your spawn, that would take you a good 2 hours to get a decent emerald economy rolling. And it's not real practical. I won't say it's impossible, but it just seems not very promising to me. So I think basically the general approach is, at a bare minimum, you got to run around all night hunting Endermen. You've got to probably get some good armor, and you have to get arrows because, I mean, good luck fighting in gas with a sword. If you get very lucky, you might not have to fight any gas, but you certainly do have to fight the dragon. You don't want to fight the dragon with a sword, so you're going to definitely need a bunch of arrows. Possibly the best case scenario would be spawning in with a pool of lava on one side of you and a skeleton spawner on the right. Skeleton dungeon. If you got all that, that might be more like 3 or 4 days. That actually wouldn't probably be too hard. You wouldn't need diamonds at all. Get some basic armor, and honestly, you could conceivably go to the end without any armor, as long as you're careful. I mean, the Enderman, if you're careful, the Enderman won't attack you. And if you're good with your bow, the dragon will probably never touch you. And again, if you use my updated technique of just shooting the dragon when he's coming in for a swoop prior to busting the crystals, you'll save a lot of arrows, and he won't be anywhere near touching you. So the chances of him touching you more than once or twice are pretty low. So I'd say that's what I learned from it. I'm sure I'll think about it and come up with some more tips as far as how to do this better next time. If I could do this in 2 hours, I'd be pretty happy with that. And that's going to be my goal. Well, 3 hours first, but certainly 2 hours would be a really sweet spot to be in. So here we are back in the overworld, and I am officially done with this speed run. Just kind of wanted to poke around here a little bit and kind of gloat, celebrate my lovely victory here. Hey man, see my cool, well you can't really see it, my Bob Ross skin. This is your little Minecraft world, and you can put your happy little trees wherever you like. So that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. And I did want to go ahead and give you a little bit of information here. I wanted to show you the seed and all that kind of stuff for anybody that's interested. And that's it. Thanks very much for watching. And I hope you enjoyed the videos, and I hope you check out my other series. And I will definitely have more speedruns to come. And we'll talk to you then. Thanks.